What's up? What's up? Corey Johnson back again with another video. Look, I want to explain to people something. If you're suffering at the hands of your government, or if you're going through struggles economically, or what have you, I just want to let all of you know that most of it depends upon you, and most of it is your fault. And the reason why I say that is because if you support a government that takes your money forcefully, threatens you, and tells you if you don't pay this amount of money to it, then it's going to lock you up in a cage called jail. Okay, um, if you are governed by a government that uses force to make you do something against your will, period, um, then it's also your fault. And the reason why I say that is because no government, doesn't matter where you are in the world, no government can make you do something against your will. And the reason why I say that is because if the majority of you didn't support a particular government, then that government wouldn't exist. The government only exists is because the majority of you continue to support it. The majority of you continue to empower it by voting, by writing your so-called Congress and your so-called dictators and your so-called senators. Um, you continue to ask these people within your government for things. You continue to ask for your rights. You continue to ask, can they not tax you to death? Why ask? You have human rights to do certain things. You have a human right to protest. You see, you have a human right to fish without a fishing permit. That is a human right. You know what I'm saying? You have a human right to own guns. You see what I'm saying? These things are what you are endowed with at birth. These are natural rights. You see? And but I don't want to deviate from my original intent of this video, but I'm just trying to outline some of the things that you already have rights to, that no man or woman can take away from you. But saying what I was saying before, the government only represents 5% of the population. Okay, we the people represent 95% of the population, the majority. You see what I'm saying? So if you represent the 95%, how are you letting the 5%ers or 5% of the population control you? How is this possible? How is it possible that they can make you pay money for them not doing anything but sitting on their asses and collecting? You see? But then whenever you get ready to ask for a little help, which you shouldn't have to do. You ask for a little help with money, housing, or whatever. These people tell you, "Oh, you're leaning on the welfare system. You're a parasite." But then they're the same ones doing the same thing you're doing or asking for. They are collecting welfare because they're going into your pockets, into the people's pocket, and taking money and living off of it. You see? And this is the thing this is what I'm talking about. These people know how to manipulate you into supporting them, manipulate you and threaten you into paying them money that they don't deserve. You allow them to lock you up. You allow them to tell you what to do when they only represent 5% of the population. How is this possible? Tell me, how is it possible that these people are able to control all of us? It's because you have this belief in your head that these people are legitimate authority. And this is the reason why they are able to do what they want to do. It's belief. But if you didn't believe that these people have any authority, then they don't have any authority if you didn't believe it. But because you believe it, 5% of the population, which is the government, is able to control 95% of the population, which is us. And this is what I was talking about on Facebook. But people on Facebook, many of them, they don't like to listen. And that's the thing. And that's what, and it's funny. I'm gonna deviate a little bit from my original intent of this video. It's funny that the government if the government really wanted to know the mindset of people today, all the government has to do is get on Facebook. That's all the government has to do. And they'd be like, man, these people are idiots. We got them. Look at what they writing about. Look at what they're thinking. Because what's being spewed out on that news feed represents the mindset. You see? You have a bunch of people cooning, the government's going to see this. Because people are cooning, and what's in their heads comes out on the news feed on Facebook. And this is another reason why government is able to control the majority. It's because the majority has his head up in his ass. This is why. Now, the majority or the people can't complain about what the government is doing, because the majority at this point can shut the government down from doing anything. Because the government doesn't have enough people to contain everybody. It's the people who allow this type of thing to go. The reason why the American government is doing what it's doing, and why we are in the dark moments that we are in right now, is because of the people. And half of us in America, we're lazy. We're intellectually lazy, and we're physically lazy. And this is why nothing has been done. And you got 95% of the population allowing this stuff to go on, allowing the government to run them up, allowing their enforcement agents to shoot and kill people on the streets. And then y'all think by voting for a new dictator that's going to change anything in America, and it's not. You feel me? You think by writing Congress and senators that's going to change something, but it's not. It hasn't changed anything. This pisses me off because people whine and complain, but they haven't done anything. They haven't come together to address the United States government. And then people get on Facebook and places and talk about their bills, and bills are too high and taxes too high. But if y'all stop fighting over skin color, get your heads out of your asses, and I'm not talking about all of you, and stop cooning, then maybe, just maybe, tomorrow when we wake up, things will be better when we put this government in check, because we represent 95% of the population. We let 5% of the population control us. And then we allow our children to grow up and face the same fates that we face every day, and that we're still facing right now, because nobody has gained the testicular fortitude to put this government in check. Our moms didn't do it. Our grandmoms and granddads didn't do it. Our fathers didn't do it. So we're continuously going down the same road. And people thought by voting in Barack Obama and Donald Trump that this was going to change everything. And I kept telling everybody that no matter who you vote into office, nothing is going to change. Because these people have a different agenda for you. You think that those nuclear weapons that they have and those guns are just meant for foreigners and people overseas? No, they're meant for you. You as well. I don't see how people can't see this. And that's just like even the majority of the white population. When black people was in slavery, they should have looked at that situation while their government was saying freedom, give me liberty, give me death, and talking about liberty and this and that. They had slaves. So the white population back then should have looked at that and said, whoa, Well, what do they have for us next? When are they going to come for us next? Because this is the way this government operates. You see? Black slavery was nothing but a test run to use the same methods and strategies and brutality on everyone. And that's exactly what's happening today. And they got us all divided based on skin color and religion and sex, gender, and all that stuff. And this is why a lot of us in the 95% population can't come together and go against the very people who's robbing us. And we want to vote for certain people as president just because, oh, well, he's black and he's white and he represents us. No, they represent themselves. They have always represented themselves. A fool can see this. A child that's only 5 years old can see this. Yeah, grown damn adults in America can't figure this shit out. Sad, man. That's why I don't like hearing complaining, because we can anytime shut this government down. Anytime. Because we represent the majority. But Americans don't like to study. Americans don't like to step up to the plate when something's being done to them that's wrong. When they see their fellow man and woman getting killed in the streets by law enforcement, not by police, law enforcement. Because I don't call what we have in this country really police. The definition of the word is just way too different. We have law enforcers. They enforce unjust laws and so-called just laws. This is what we have going on here. Man, people better get their heads right, man. And that's real. I've been speaking about this stuff forever. And we have authors who have written about this stuff forever and ever, and nothing has changed. It's because the majority of people are not listening. The majority of people will not take the wise men's advice. You don't need government to run no society. Government can go on without, society can go on without government, but government can't go on without society because it needs some blood from which to feed. That's why government cannot exist without, because government does not make its own money. It takes it from the backs of working class people. And that's real. They the biggest welfare recipients of all. Can't talk shit about no private citizen collecting welfare when you got a motherfucking government doing the same damn thing. Man, I tell you, woo. Man, look, I think I'm gonna end this video, but I just really want people to understand that this authority thing and this government having power is all in your heads. The gang is real, like Larkin Rose and all of them said. The gang is real. The buildings are real. The guns are real. But the authority and legitimacy is not. It's a belief in your head. And this is why you're stuck supporting a government that doesn't care about you. And there it is. I'm out.